you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Meg, and today we're doing Battle of the Sponges. So here I have the EcoTool sponge, here I have the Real Technique sponge. I have used these for my foundation, my concealer, baking, so if you would like to see which sponge performs best, what is the better bang for your buck, keep on watching, you are in the right place, and let's roll into it. So today I'm definitely doing a battle of the sponges because I am so interested to see what the difference is. I've heard a lot of people raving about this EcoTools Total Perfecting Blender. I found mine at Target for $5, so it's pretty on par with the Real Technique sponge. Don't mind this, it looks dirty, but it's clean. I promise I just cleaned this the other day. So I'm just really excited because a lot of people say that this works better than the Beauty Blender. It works better than the Real Technique sponge. It's the best sponge out there, so I'm excited to test it out. I'm most interested in testing out the flat edge because I think it would be really great to getting to blending your concealer close to your lash line. And then I also feel like this will be a really good sponge for setting your makeup and baking with. So I'm gonna go ahead, open this up, get them both damp, and we can roll on into the demo. All right, you guys, so I'm about to wet my sponges, and the texture is already so different. Like this sponge is a lot thicker, a lot more dense than the Real Techniques one. Like this one, I can basically just be like, boop. And then this one is like, it's very dense and very thick. So I'm so interested to see how they are when they're wet and how they perform. All right, so here are the sponges wet. They both like doubled in size, and as you guys can see, they're pretty comparable in size. And then again, even wet, this sponge, not that it feels more, like not that it's flimsy, but it feels like a lot more squishy than this one. This one doesn't feel as dense now that it's wet. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I think I'm gonna use a sponge on this side, this one on this side, and then for concealer on the Beauty Blender side, I do have a mini Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna be using my Lancome foundation today. This is my everyday foundation. One thing that I noticed with rinsing this sponge out is I didn't need to hold it under the water and squeeze as many times as I do with the Real Technique sponge, so I found that to be interesting. But while we're here, I also feel like this is like already blended on my face so fast. Oh my goodness. It's been like literally like 30 seconds. But while we're here, this product is 100% vegan, which is awesome. It's also cruelty-free and dermatologist tested. Wow. I feel like my face just looks like flawless, and it was like in an instant. That's insane. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side of my face. Another cool thing about this sponge is that it's made from 70% of plant-based materials, which is awesome. So I used about the same amount of foundation on both sides. And I have to say, I feel like the EcoTools one gave me better coverage, like especially like right here where I do have issues with a lot of redness. And I think the sponge being more dense had something to do with that. Yeah, like there's such a huge difference in the coverage with these sponges. Okay, so I don't know how well this is gonna show on camera, but I just really want you guys to get a better idea of the amount of coverage. Like this side looks more flawless and more airbrushed. And then definitely on my forehead, there's way more coverage on this side. The product lasted longer, like I was able to easily spread it down to my eyelid. And then with this product, like I feel like I need to use more foundation. So you guys can just see the difference, especially right here. All right, so I was talking on the phone while I was doing my concealer, but again, the EcoTools side gave me so much more coverage, and I definitely, I'm blown away by this. So all I did was just set my under eye with the powder I filled my brows in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna try cutting my crease with the sponges and see how that goes. So I'll be back when it's time for that step. All right, so I have the rest of my face on, and then I will say, by the way, don't mind my nose, like my skin is so dry right now, it's kind of freaking out. But I will say, like, it sounds silly, but like in actuality, like my bronzers and contour, highlight, blush, all that stuff, I felt like it applied better on the side that I used this sponge. But now I'm just going to do a little bakety bake. And this is what I figured I would mostly use the sponge for, because it does have like that really nice straight edge. So the Real Techniques definitely picks up more powder than the Eco Tools, like on the flat side. Definitely like a ton more powder on this side of my face, which I'm kind of surprised by, because if I'm being honest, I totally thought that like this sponge would be better and I would use it for my foundation and I would just strictly use this for like baking purposes. But it looks like it could be the opposite. Like maybe this is a good sponge for baking and this is like going to be the good sponge for setting my face. By the way, the powder that I use is the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder. And I'm surprised again. Okay, so like brushing away from where I had the Real Techniques, obviously it packed on more powder, so there's definitely more of like a white cast on my face versus, I have my fan on and my hair keeps going everywhere. This, I felt like just melted into my skin, like on this side, like there was barely anything to brush off. Like my mind is like freaking blown by this Eco Tools sponge. Like I can't believe it. I can't believe it's this amazing. Like I did not think that there would be a sponge that would top Real Techniques. As far as the Beauty Blender goes, I do like the Beauty Blender. However, it's just so expensive and like you tend to go through sponges a lot if you're using makeup like on a daily basis like I do. So I was a fan of the Real Techniques because I felt like it was very comparable to the Beauty Blender and it's a fraction of the cost. Like again, like both of these sponges are the same price. So I'm just so surprised. I'm so, like the material of the sponge is just amazing. It doesn't soak up a ton of product. Like I wish that this was like a little bit cleaner so you guys could truly tell like there's really not that much product soaked up into this. This is kind of what this sponge looked like clean, but this soaked up so much. Okay, here's a perfect example. This sponge was spotless when I used it, and you can see that's just from my concealer. All the concealer that it soaked up into the sponge versus like the minimal amount of product soaked up into this sponge. I don't know, like I'll say it again, I'm blown away by this. I mean, I highly recommend it. If you guys haven't tried this yet, like holy crap, like check this out. Get it if you like using sponges to apply any part of your makeup at all. It literally, like I felt like it gave me a flawless finish. It definitely like gave me a fuller coverage in the Real Techniques side, because sometimes the Real Techniques side, I feel like it kind of picks product up and moves it. Like I'm like so shocked right now. But yeah, I definitely recommend this sponge over the Real Techniques sponges. At least I can speak on that. Let me know in the comments below what you guys love to use to apply your makeup with, and if you guys have tried this out, I would love to hear your experiences. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe so you don't miss out on my other content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.